Every worker member of the board is written at the top of the flyers. Below the flyer is the union logo and demand democracy. Un secondo solo. It has been brought to your attention that you're an alcoholic, and that is a sickness, and it's killing you. You're crawling on your knees through life, your booze-filled belly dragging on the ground, your brain now fuzzy, now in overdrive, your hair sticking together with today's cold sweat and yesterday's vomit. Perhaps they're right, anything is better than this, even bone dry reality itself. Maybe you can quit. Fra poco posso salire di livello, devo decidere se salire di livello o de-internalizzare un pensiero. The radio is emitting strange buzzing sounds. Punch clock payphone. An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says token unavailable due to strike. Use change. Non ho soldi da sprecare in questa maniera. Postcard. Vale 4,50 €. I'm getting shit. Standard file cabinet. Someone left the copy machine on. Dark liquid in the pot looks almost sentient. Second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers. It's unfortunate for the union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this. Let's see what Zane he thinks. Aspetta un attimo. Mia soldi. Che in realtà tutte le scelte che sto facendo non ho ricaricato neanche una volta. Che è la cosa migliore da fare. The drawer opens smoothly inside a well-organized selection of brown folders. Browse to the folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. The same material being handed over to companies. Okay. Anything interesting? Start to make sense of the ticket. Volition, please. Please. Yes. Whatever is hidden here is hidden well. Consideration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics will be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer. Look at the note. It appears to be the to-do list written in large and even capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everett's shoes, special reeling, bosses, blah. Okay. Only thing on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled. Errands for Everett. Everett Clare, probably the head of the Bardures Unions. Penso. Specs the note. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here. The special Borsch seemed a bit odd in the list. Take another look at the note. Boh, abbiamo ottenuto qualcosa, dai. Neat office shades. Oh yeah, dude. Che sì, me la sto prendendo un pochino troppo seriamente. Allora, cosa da internalizzo? Advanced Race Theory, direi. Per quanto inexplicable feminist agenda is also kind of useless. Dal punto di vista dell'estate. Ovviamente. Ok, l'ha dimenticato subito. Ok, perfetto, così possiamo internalizzare il comunismo. Mi ha tolto 2 di visual calculus per adesso. Vabbè, dai, quel che si può. Aspetta un attimo. Mister, togliti dalle mani questa... No, questa mi dà stat. Perfetto, andiamo. Buongiorno. Oh, vestiti, che bello. Media. Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here. There is a white rectangle clearly visible on its back. This is your cloak, you can feel it. Lieutenant, I think that's mine. Yes, it does bear the RCM insignia, and we're only detectives in Martinez. You think I should get it? Yes, I do. As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver a message of comfort through your fingertips. Will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours. That's what the cloak is relaying. That's good. We have my cloak. Nice. Beh, sono serissimo, direi. Tutto considerato. Cosa sei tu? Questa cosa. Collecting rainwater. Ok. Allora, Great Machine in Quiescence. Qui cos'è? È grande questo posto. White pine trees are printed on screen covering. Looks like the forest under snow. Posso andare lì? Posso. Ehi, cos'è questo? Come ci vado? Forse se mi tengo la... perché ho notato che se tengo la cosa in mano vedo le bottiglie, se no non le vedo. Non posso accedere a questo posto. Oh sì. Ops. Boh, andiamo avanti, dai. Guarda quante. Numerous empty bottles, a common and bottle pincer, at least 3 packs of cigarette butts. All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really hard here. Did I do this? Well, yes, I think I can say with relative confidence that it was you. Oh shit. This is really sad. I must have been miserable. Yes, this scene isn't exactly ripping with joy. Let's just move on. No, devo prendermi tutte le cazzo di bottiglie per fare soldi qua. Bisogna pulire il nostro disastro, fare soldi, eccetera, sai, cazzuraggi? Solo perché tu hai soldi non vuol dire che tutti li abbiano. Ok, entriamo qui dentro, o parliamo con questo posto. This is the Night Watchman's booth. The name on the door reads René Arnaud. So this is where René works. If you must, but please hurry. They're pretty easy to spot here. Yeah. Nothing incriminating catches your eye, the cabinets. Okay, take a picture. Photo of a happy couple. It's a black and white photo of a young couple. Okay. And René looks like he's about to smile. This photo must be tied to some good memories. Why did you take the picture of René? I'm gonna ask him about it. You're really interested in that old soldier? True. E dove cazzo vado, scusate, eh? Non ho mica capito dove si va. Perché qua non posso scendere, non posso andare. Forse di qua proprio. Ah, sì. Ok. Facciamo un bottone. A rusting control panel with several knobs. Two buttons marked Allumer and Etendre are faded with use. Seem to control a large crane above. Allumer on, enter off. Ok. Forse non avrei dovuto farlo. Ho una netta impressione di essermi chiusa. No, please. Oh mio Dio. Ok, non dovrei premere il pulsante. The harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. Its purpose? What do you mean? Moving these containers, of course, but this part it was built for because it has acted. Can't see why that was worth the ruckus, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying. Ok, non avrei dovuto farlo. Money, money, money. You see faded industrial lettering on the platform. Valsum. Hey. Valsum means well fjord in Ardan. Before you stand a cargo container, just one of many in the air. Kim, I think there's something in this container. You do? Because I don't. What? Why not? There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? Maybe... I don't know, I was hanging from the crane. Just pick one out because you want to interact with cargo container. We're not here to interact with containers, we're here to get the body down from the tree. Open the door. Ok. Ok, mi dispiace, continuo a fare cose, sono solo entusiasta. Ok, si può andare di qua. Ehi, cosa succede? Ahead is oddly quiet. Cigarette machines are sleeping. Sì, lo so. Soldi! Thank fuck, dude. Oh, cos'è? The speaker tower is silent. No work to organize. Cosa sei? Give it to me. Non posso aprirla. Ok. Aspetta, forse posso usare uno dei miei strumenti. Le chain cutters, perché dovrei usare le chain cutters su questa cosa. L'ho falsato. Half-Light. Beh, mi piace. Ok, ho usato una cosa, è stato bello. Industrial-sized thermos, smells like burnt coffee. So much fucking money, dude. I have 11 fucking... Ehi, una persona. Ciao, persona.
Container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to these containers are being made up as it goes along. Thanks, conceptualization. The accent is so thick it's impossible not to notice UBI. Sorry. UB? Punishing pencil of Ubisoft? Or Mundi?
Container, used to be Well Pines. Container, now belongs to Everett.
Hi!
Everett, he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
The look in his deep blue eyes is sincere as you've seen. He kind of makes you feel like an asshole for not
I see you're not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
What is it with you and people, you people and
I mean,
scabs?
I don't personally mind. Folks are just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
You're UB, right? Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. I'm had to leave my dad. I was about 10. Hero says UB are up to all sorts of trouble. Just nasty rumors. Thank you for climbing photos, sir. I'm looking for the leader of a dock workers union. Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's a awfully nice fellow, he is. They lived in their time lives in their neighborhood. Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are really good guys. Made Martin is what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys. Easy, Leo. We just want to know where I can find this man. Oh, Mr. Everett is where he always is, in his office, of course. 2 giant containers on your right. What's in the container over there? Oh, that one that should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up. Told you. Are you Leo who wrote the note to make more banners? Oh yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. The old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. Almost forgot about the borscht. What was about the borscht? Non so cos'è sto borscht. Oh, yes, I've been taking special whirling borscht to the menu every day since strike started. It's very, very good. Make a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renundin Bordogs every time the lunch is done. What do you mean by taking this soup to the man? Is it for striking? Yes, I'm taking to them. The borscht keeps them happy in fighting spirits. Who makes it a whirling? Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Magnana. On that... Mr. Magnana non vuol dire tipo mela. No, cos'era? Magnana? Ah, mattina. Mela. Tipo. In that weird language and laughing to it. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad. Something is up about this borscht. I'm going to look into it. Oh, sure, mister. Sure, you do that. Yes, sir. Mi dispiace, Leo. Ok, off. Bye bye now. Quindi questo è l'ufficio di Everest. Come si chiama? The coffee in the giant thermos is still lukewarm. Star made of pallets leading up. Buongiorno, Mr. Everest. Ehi. Ah, stiamo facendo un giro molto bizzarro. Ok. Facci qua sul muro. Magari mi darà qualche materiale nella nostra conversazione. A taxidermy fish that tells time. Wow. Ciao. Ho salvato? Sì, salvato. Ciao. A red Claire before you is a warless of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you. Let's get straight to business. There's a dead body in a tree. Welcome,
Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
He gestured to a tiny chair opposite to his giant desk. Ce ne sono... Ah no, ce ne sono due. Ha una voce molto diversa dal suo
I'm
corpo.
Everard Clare, head of the Debargeurs Union here in Martinez.
The man relaxes into his chairs and continues.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can be good. He thinks, I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Du Bois stuff? We're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name. Why are you calling me Mr. Du Bois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner as equals. Take a seat, I insist.
It's nothing, yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out. He's trying to throw you off your game with this Du Bois nonsense. Don't give him the pleasure. Ok, mi fido di Authority. I don't sit. It's kind of my thing.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions.
Thanks.
I, too, have convictions, one of which is that I will not engage any man who won't face me at eye level.
Sono alto come te da seduto.
Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
Fuck. You're not Titan of Volition, buddy. He's got you in your fork. Sit down or leave. Pretty well. Take a seat.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Non mi va mai bene dare ascolto ad Authority? Lasciamo stare, guarda. Damn, this chair is uncomfortable.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debargeurs Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
Revachol? Shit. Beh, perlomeno qualcuno che pronuncia i nomi, così dopo li so pronunciati, che dopo mi dimentico immediatamente. Cosa? The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside. Shit, dude, non ho mica vita io.
By the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Garte. Some people have no manners. It pains me to say.
It's okay.
This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk, absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with the cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Whoa, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it. Yes, but you'll owe him for it. Thank you, Everett. Take the comically large check.
Don't mention it. But also don't forget it. I'm just kidding, of course.
Is he? He's not.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun. Lost gun. Lost gun.
Okay. Damage morale. Shit, he's ruining me, dude. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gone. When he said don't worry, he actually meant be very worried. I would appreciate any help you could provide.
Are you alright, Harry? You seem anxious. Well, don't be. Everything's going to be alright.
It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be alright.
Non so se provare a fare questo check o chiedere a Kim direttamente aiuto. Cannot be retried. Ah, cosa vuol dire questo? -1 took the novelty check, -2 the chair is killing you. Quindi sono particolarmente sfigata in questo momento. E non so se dopo, se fallisco, succede tipo un disastro. E boh, vado da Kim. Kim?
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
Okay.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Oh shit, I need to do the check anyway. God, you're sweating, your knees jerking, you're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are going to shot themselves with it. So what? Men can cry too, dude. You want to cry? God, you're weak. Whatever you do, don't cry. He thinks you're disgusting.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
That's fine. I'm just getting destroyed in this one. What is this Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
You're in some stupor. Oh shit. There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to your safe place.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Probably. Maybe you could use your hands somehow in kind of a throwing motions, like you're throwing what Mr. Dubois act right back at him. Actually, this chair is uncomfortable. I could use that glass of water. Non me lo darà.
What an odd demonstration of... Huh? You got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Boh, senti.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Thank fuck for Kim, you know. Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him question. Police officer question. Okay, it's about a time to stop embarrassing yourself. Cos'è questa cosa? Question will help you regain some of your lost dignity. Ok, pensiamo a una domanda valida. I want to talk about the hanging. Ah, of course, that's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes around here and I would love to discuss it with you. You would not love to interview the union boss. Secret task complete. Cosa? Perché un secret task? Cos'è un secret task? Cosa? What? Ok, no importa. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. I sense that there's an answer. Say nothing. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open. Yes, that sounds good, the lieutenant says with a slow nod. Let's do that. But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. Suddenly, he slaps himself on the forehead. You're a police officer, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors. I've opened a few doors in my life. And I'm sure you're gonna open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is very simple and there's nothing shady about it. Io penso di chiamarmi davvero così, cioè... HDB non erano le iniziali che diceva lui. Whose door is it? Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. What do you mean by a weasel? A loud, blubbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. He removes his glasses and rubs his nose. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. I bet you don't even know anything about the hanging. Harry, my dear friend, he sinks deeper in the chair. I'm what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez. Damn it, fine, I'll look into it, but we need to talk about the murder. Fantastic, my friend, just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Mañana. He's down by the gates. Mañana likes a free agent in the union, special operations, hardened socialist, a real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want a weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Could you help me get a dead body from down a tree? You might have noted there's no hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria. There's one hanging on Baba. Oh my, don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter? Mr. Clare, the man who was hanged with the cargo belt, a steel-reinforced cargo belt, it's safe to assume the union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood. Also, I studied the footprints at the crime scene, worker boots. I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values. He licks his fat lips and smiles. But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you. He picks up the handset of a radiophone in his right and clicks a button. Gene Luck, my boy, I'm sending 2 police officers down. They have a dead body and a 3 problem they need to help with. Namely, they need it to be taken down. And Gene, please take it easy with the race science. He's had enough of that. You can find Gene Luck down the gates. Sono sicuro che non si pronuncia Gene Luck, si pronuncia Gene Lu o qualcosa. You already knew that. Anyways, he's going to help you. Ah, ok. Il razzista mi aiuta, che bello. Let's talk about my lost gun. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, sensing every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. Si vede che questo gioco non è fatto da gente americana, perché sennò non avrebbe senso che qualcuno si preoccupi così tanto di un'arma, perché gli americani sono fuori di testa e hanno armi ovunque. It's just a matter of time and effort. The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage. Hold on, could he really be holding my gun hostage? Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back, and working with him might be the only way to do it. Wait, your gun may have been bought from Roy's pawn shop. Have your men factored that in? Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you pawned it. Oh, shit. Now please, let the professional do their job. Keep back, Harry. Relax, I have great guys on it. You focus on what's important, building a relationship for the good of Martinez. It did not come to a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting. Does this mean if I do things for you, I will get my gun back? Damn it, Harry, that's exactly what it means. I am only kidding, of course. Of course, I understand. We help you, you help us. You call me Mr. Dubois. Non mi ricordo già più. Why? Of course, let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everett, I called you Harry. That's what the Hancourts called you, Harry. So that's really my name? My god, so it's true. I didn't want to believe, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that? I think the odds that are very low. Might be a good idea to add your confusion and see what his game is first. My memory is fine, I'm just testing you. So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out with my big fat folder. Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess the word has already reached him, no matter, no harm done. Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents? Mr. Katsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. Don't just jump to the folder, that sounds smart, you're on edge, do some probing first. What kind of cop does it say I am? Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic. Sorry? Yes, you seem to be, a lot of the time, but right now there's no reason to be. Let loose a little, be you. Do you know anything about my family? Do I have a wife or kids or family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one people family in here, unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? Never mind the family. Family, Harry, is the most important thing in the world. Let me get this straight. What is my full name? It's Harry Dubois. Okay, I like it. I can work with that. And I can work with you, Harry. Now, what else can I do for you? Where did you get that folder? Ah, this? My friend in your organization gave it to me. Ooh. Haha, you guys are so corrupt. I find that very suspicious. May I have a look? I'm afraid it's meant for union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. Please continue, Harry. Have another look at the folder. Ma come? Herbert's large hands are covering the folder, but the look on his face is, I know everything about you, Harry. He knows everything about me. I'm sure that's not bad. At worst, he has an old RCM folder, and I very much doubt even that. Harry, I just know the things that matter to our friendship, and I want you to feel free to ask me about those things. Let's talk of other matters for a moment. Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not linger on personal details and amnesia. You wanted something from me. Oh shit. What's in that container that's outside your office? Dear Harry, there are literally a million of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. Everett, I'm going to leave now, but we might talk again later. Wait, you need this to get in and out through the gate. Huh, great, wouldn't want to get stuck in here. Here, you're one of us now, real red and white union man. Take care, Harry. Suggestion. Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally and now we know your couple type. Why? There are couple types? Yeah. Quest, what's yours? Sorry, cop, I mean, I'm not sure. Yes, sorry, cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we? Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here. Okay, but what are the other cop types? Oh, you know, Apocalypse, Superstellar, the Advanced Interesting Cop, Liquid Shadow Cop. But you're too sorry to say those things, so here we go. You know, actually, I'm not sorry, I changed my mind. No, you don't, come on, you'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes. Still wasting time being the repentance. No, I'm really not sorry, fuck off. Wow, okay, fuck off. Maybe we were wrong about you then. I don't wanna be sorry, cop. Fuck off. I'll stop saying sorry then. Giant novelty check. Sì, come se 25 cazzo di sterline mi aiutassero a pagare i miei debiti. Potevo darmi almeno 100. Dobbiamo chiedere a Magnana la chiave. Per parlare con Major Head. Chi come minimo mi odia. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of the city.
Oh, hey, mister. I need to be back to talk with old Leo here.
Leo, in the future, can we keep this greeting shorter? Sure, mister, absolutely. I'm always willing to help out a nice fellow such as yourself. Ok, Leo non ha niente di nuovo da dire, quindi non perdiamo troppo tempo. Ma non è che, sai, posso usare uno di... Ehi! Ma mi ha usato la roba? Car container, knock on the door. Non posso usare il try bag. Ehi, posso tenere 2 cose in mano. Figo. Sembra di aver usato le chain cutters. È come se fossero monouso, tipo. Come vado lì sopra? Se arriverà da un'altra parte, non c'è altra spiegazione. Ho l'impressione di stare giocando male a questo gioco, ma... Comunque, voglio andare a vedere anche di quella specie di minestra lì che danno i lavoratori per vedere, no? Hey, Major Head.
The unpromising race pupil returns.
Know anything about this mug? He does not so much as glance at the object. This is your kind of thing? Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it. He had nothing to do with it. Everett told you to help us get the body down from the tree. So it was. My unpromising race pupil entered the harbor and used my superior to give me orders. I salute your cunning and will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands. Your noble Major Head. There's a but. But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you. That would mean you're openly showing the people that you're taking the Union side. Lieutenant, what if we don't want to do that? This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it down ourselves. I can live with the compromise. Listen to your little friend. He's wise in a childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup. Okay then. Babe, see that they stay here the whole time. Major Head. The woman's gaze follows Major Head as he leaves. So, you guys are like cops or something? Apparently so. Cool, I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way. You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something. Yeah, Jean-Luc must really turning it up over there. I wish I could see it. I also wish I could see it. Cosa sta succedendo? Look at you, RCM Rent-A-Cops, a loud voice booms from below, guarding the bridge like Everett's lapdogs. And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you? That's none of your business. A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno! Then the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner and approaching him, walking past him. Eccolo che torna. Già arrivato. Cammina velocissimo. Get him the body down. The corpse has been removed from the tree. He brushes wooden flakes off his hands. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with race victory today. There has been no side choosing. We did what he had to do to keep order. He nods slowly, and what you had to do was to become a union man for all to see. Let's go over that funky... No, leave! Non posso andare lì, però. Volevo tanto andare lì a prendere quello. Oh, Majorhead. Ok, almeno andiamo a vedere che cosa ha combinato con quel corpo. Che è meglio. Dici che questo nostro amico è più felice di noi adesso.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talk to the bossman too, probably. Was nice enough. It's but a rest area on the path leading across the open plains. Right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. Everett said you have a key to a door? A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? I said it belonged to a weasel? Oh, say no more, I got you. Key to basement apartment. I got that key over here, and let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. I'm not opening this door for myself, I'm opening it for all working men. I knew this man was a commie, and that's a good thing you're doing too, thanks. Dovresti vedere la mia testa. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse that's behind the whirling of rugs. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business. Okay, but where did the key come from? The janitor gave it to me, nice fella. We talked about life and things that really truly matter. His gaze wanders off into the distance. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling, what's it for? He doesn't wait for your answer. To feed our children, I guess. Anything else I should know about this task, this weasel person, when he'll be home? He shakes his head. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we're fighting for. He means he's not gonna tell you because he doesn't know, but he will shoot mouth with you now that you're working for Everett. Who he is and what they're fighting for. This is interesting. Why are you striking? We're negotiating our share. Aye. Wait, so not for wages or pensions. This stuff they already covered. At least you got the benefits, that's something. It's not enough to get ahead. More about keeping us in our place. How large a share would you like? All of it. However, right now we all want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board so they could take part in the decision-making process. This sedition talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in the southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist. Come on, dude. It's not true. Are you a communist? No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only thing holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't. What? But the stuff you do aligns admirably well with the World Republic, so why not call yourself a communist? I have nothing against communists, they are honorable boyaderos. Okay. And they have good analysis. But my own code serves me well. If I code starts failing, a code can fail a man as well as a man can fail a code, then I will have a sublatent to a new one, which may well be communism. I guess I understand. See, I am primarily a lazy person. Same. No doubt he's communist enough to call himself such, but he won't. I don't want to talk about these interesting things, it's not my business. Why is that? He likely believes that when someone has radical ideas, he should still rather present himself as a self-interested moderate, not as a missionary of a minority ideology. Because it might come in handy to present ideas as a part of reality, the only reality that exists, instead of some abstract true form. On the other hand, he's not lying when performing this sleight of hand. His self-interest is a self-interested moderate. Basically, you're a self-interested moderate? That's one way to call it, friend. An unnecessarily complicated way. Laziness, self-interest, and negligence essentially fit the doctrine espoused here. Is the dulcet tone of ultraliberalism I hear? At least some people are willing to make the necessary sacrifices in order to reach a higher and better world. The bossman, Everett, what can you tell me about him? I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he's a capable organizer and a decent businessman. What does bossing the union entail anyway? I guess you kinda get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own. But by that you mean corruption? By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it, even. He's personally not too lavish. That does seem lavish to me. He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion. Besides, there are no corrupt system in the world. There are no non-corrupt system in the world anyway. Moralism is the most corrupt of them all. Not you would like to say, but then there's that weasel door. This man has political theory, and he has not failed him today. You seem to have spent a lot of time thinking about the political situation. Sure, I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's always time. The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing. It all comes together now, the way he speaks about scabs, his general attitudes, his follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian Boyadero code, itself an appropriation of Vespertine cool, that of a noble peasant of a traveling herdsman, true to yourself, independent in your action, loyal to your friends. Doesn't sound that cool, sounds antiquated, obsolete, passé, it's not disco. The man sits on the railing, his arms reaching far and wide, yet it feels as if he could effortlessly go even wider if it need be, an endless torrent of time. Any idea who killed the hanged man? The mercenary, aye? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? Was hanged with a very specific type of cargo belt, one who's in heavy transportation area, for example, harbors. What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing, unless they were pushed, of course. Pushed how? You're that guy. Was an enemy combatant. Hold up, what does that mean? He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. Did you kill him? I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like the Union have all sorts of men with all sorts of skills. He's not lying about not doing it himself. Understood. This has been of limited use, still, thank you. No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search. Good talking to you. Oh, è stato discretamente utile parlargli. Open a part and forever, sì. Non so che giorno è, perché qua dice solo day one. Potrei parlare anche a questo, tipo. Che comunque è interessante. Ehi, tipo?
Right to work! Right.
Boh, non mi vuole parlare meglio. Aspetta che do delle bottiglie fritte. Non si sa mai quando mi dovranno servire i soldi, sai? Dovrei ricaricarmi. Io posso Beh, adesso come adesso vado a vedere come il corpo. Dopo interagirò con il ledger, perché penso che mi possa dare dei casi da risolvere. Non ho ben capito. Vediamo se l'ha decapitato o qualcosa mentre lo tirava giù. No, ha tirato giù ok. Abbastanza bene. The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pine wood branch. It's gently laid on one side. Beautiful, wipe a tear from your eye. Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy. A field autopsy? Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We're on number 3. The RCM 4-phase murder scene processing manual. The fuck are you on about? Cop's gonna cut his shit up. Don't we have someone else for this? A doctor? No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from autopsy to cleanup to social work, everything. Yes, I feel like a detective. You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't. Now, the way I see it, it's either this or we complete the initial interviews. We already met Everard, now only leaves the Wild Pines representative. There's one in town negotiating the strike. She could have more information. No need for a distraction. Let's do this. The lieutenant adjusts his glass and takes a deep breath. First, what exactly is a field autopsy? Come on, officers, you know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them. What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers at the dormant shield volcano Corpus Mundi is the wood high... Please, encyclopedia. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea. Encyclopedia, you're completely fucking useless. Do you have another player gloves? Hey, io del gloves. Unfortunately, no. I have gardening gloves, maybe they are enough. They're better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you take the notes. We fill this in, right? That's right. Open the ledger. Tell me something, dead man. No, I hate you, you stink and you're boring. Do I remind you of someone? A child born with Muller's disease. Grown up, miraculously. A baby affected with harlequinism. You sure wiggled out of that one, Coppolini? Okay. Open your ledger and the field autopsy form. The dead man stares inside it as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with, first, assistant. That's you. Right, Harry Dubois. No, ho sbagliato. Non importa. The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lays there. The next box says the coroner case number. KK 57 blah blah blah. KK Kim Kitsuragi 57, Prezi 57, followed by his date. His date? What do you mean his date? And time of arrival on the scene. He's indexed after himself, not you. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials. Write it down. Next. Name. NA. Date of birth. NA. Age. Roughly 50. Try 40. The damage is so extensive it's better to err on the young side. I'm gonna write around 42. He nods. Race. Mondial. Mondial? Well, fair and olive skin from the isle of Mundi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish. Write it down. The pudgy mass of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything older. Sex. Fucky. Male. Pig's gonna have sex? Right, male. Nor does he look male with his pregnant, manly, indistinguishable face. Date of death. We're still going with March 4th, 51. Right. March 4th, 51. What else? Body identified by is not applicable. Case number is the same as the coroner case. With the cargo belt still around his neck, only 1 box remains. Evidence of treatment. None, at least not after the initial examination. What exactly is treatment, anyway? Interfering with body's position or wounds post-mortem? How did you not know? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something sure-handed. Agreed. Lividity pointed to a lynching. Then again, the right lividity is easy to pronounce if you know what you're doing. He places his hand on the dead man's chest as if in preparation. Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature. A holdout from pre-Dolorian burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform, then... Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small woods shed behind Rosenkrat Road, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. Straining outside like drizzle, there's a darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette ball-like against the window. Outside, Grand Couronne. Oh, see. The day is turning dim from Sergeant Mac Thorson. Hand extended, he approaches to make sure she is dead, more than anything else. And so across Jamrock Hall City, Greek 42, deceased person found today. Cosa son tantissime! We should start the post-mortem. Turn the page. The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A ticket of boxes and list on red copier paper tries to answer why. External examination summary. Clothes. The deceased wear armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodin, I think? Let's see. See, it's happening! Babrodin, yes. Inexpensive. Size Mr. Size M. Color white. The disappointment is palpable. The red hair thing was expecting something more lurid. Write it down. The boots are ceramic, vitreous and enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downwards post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing. It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire, if you were to keep them for yourself, as you ought to. You have deserved them more than anyone else. Omit the boots. Tattoos. He stands up, feet planted on either side of the body. The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the earth. Heart. The ink is blue and white. The ink assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case file as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color, yellow, length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other hand. He produces a measuring tape, well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters, generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good, ambient temperature below freezing. Write it down. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back short. Touch the corpse hair before moving on. His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch, not that different from a living person after a swoon. Why? Stroke his hair gently. The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start slicking to your hand like thread of a sword. Write it down. Short life man with mermaid buttons. Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest and thighs, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity. Fucking low velocity, Ching Chong? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity. In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp and chest, consistent with predation. Write down. Ligature mark. The lieutenant produces a small folding knife. With the other hand pulling on the belt, he starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut. The steel wiring, there's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature marks. You could just use the right tool for that, the chain cutters. Good thing we got these chain cutters. Pull out the rubber grip cutters. Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Careful with as much precision as you can. See, my pig's gonna fuck his head off. No, he ain't. No riesco. Look for a good spot to cut. The belt is equally tied on the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges of his head. Oh shit, sono fottuta. Oh, sono fottuta. Ah, vabbè. Cut the belt off. You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yes, somewhere there. I did their body deep in the man's flesh, and you rotate them to get a better hold. Fuckity fuck. The lieutenants look at by, someone worried as you summon power words to your aid. Enough, cut some. Yeah, fuck him! Thought my pick was a hardcore. He steps in and takes the chain cutter from me. I should have a go before. I think I have a strategy. Oh, phew, let him work. He sinks the cutter into per fortuna che può fare schifo le cose. Sinks the cutter into the knot, preparing to perform the cuts with his elbow to his knee for precision. Snap! The knot is slashed. After another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet. Bouquet! Revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature marks around. Here. He hands you the chain cutter's back and then kneels closer to the body, running his finger along the dark red groove until he comes to a gap. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck, on the nape. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Write it down. Chest is intact, normal contour, abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia... No, it's gonna happen, say! I fucking knew it! This is clearly what they've been waiting for ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible. Genitalia is male and unremarkable, no evidence of injury. Write it down and move on. Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh and hip. In addition, I see smaller residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin. From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades. Dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty. This scarring is extensive, way more than a lot of issues. We have a real museum here of battles, wars. Write it down. Last item, hands. He takes the man's hand in his, inspects it, then moves on to the other hand. Then pick up the hand. His flesh is cold, I see. Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name? My name is... I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. Cappadocia. Your name is Il Cobo. What can I do for you, Il Cobo di Cappadocia? It's good to hold your hand. Did you like it when I stroked your hair? I did, Cobo, I did. Remind me of when I was just a small boy before this happened to my face and my body. You did me a kindness there. We should do this more often, but clothes like this, I mean. Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. Were we expecting any? I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, the stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Write it down. Who? He turns to the side to breathe. It's not enough. He buries his face in his sleeve and jacket of his jacket. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Description of injuries? Summary? I'm afraid we can't continue before going through, but internal... Okay. Internal examination. Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system? Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story. If I may add the moral of this story, what would that be? He looks at you inquisitively. The man looks too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story. The brain is very vulnerable to compromise in its blood supply. The lieutenant grins. I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer. I'll write an A. Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. He gets close to the mouth hole, eyes squinting from the stench, not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone? Let's see. With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purse fluids run down his lips. Black and viscous. Yeah, jack that fucker off. The high bone is fractured, he says after a while. He rests the musculoskeletal system is intact and remarkable. Back hunched, as if in prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaw. Respiratory system, he stops to exert more force. Both hands are used. Oral cavities shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and the mouth. Look inside the dead man's mouth. No scream, no sight of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there, sticky, wet, sweet hair, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight into the mouth of his. No. He wipes it dry. Hepatobiliary? NA. Why? Don't we have anything? He looks at the cold stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? I don't think so. Neither am I. And that's it? That's it. Right, NA. Same for toxicology and serology. NA. Both? Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there. Well, I might have. No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits? The completionist in me wonders if there's something we could still do. Like a toxicology screening. At this stage, adult processing will find anything, even if it was brimming with cocaine. But still, we should add a request. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with a hanging. Gastrointestinal. He breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground, to the pool of feces there. This will do. Then he touches the corpse bloated lower abdomen briefly and says, "This digested semi-solid food in stomach, voila." Keep the voila. What's next on the list? Description of injuries. Now that we've fully examined the body. Let's see. We have bite mark contusions on the head and chest and ligature mark encircling the neck. You need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too. Bite marks. Head, chest and skull bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Ontologist does not need to be consulted. Write it down. And your opinion, officers? Non-fatal post-mortem. Agreed. Next injury. Contusions. So, the skull bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. A perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem. At maximum velocity, fucko. Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity. Write it down. Cogatly borrowed sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Then he did description of injury, 2 boxes. Non-fatal post-mortem. Right. Next. Ligature mark. Finish the autopsy. What's the 4th injury field for? Nothing, just in case. Okay. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The higher body is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark 1 centimeter. No sign of clawing in the neck. Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man... Opinion, fatal injury. That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much. It leaves much to be questioned, but it's a start. He produces a small black plastic roll from his jacket, a body bag. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. First, how did it go? Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We also requested a toxicology screening that was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks. If we're lucky, I would not hold my breath. What else? We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? In the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy. What now? I need a copy of that autopsy form, and then I will drive into Faubourg. Rip out a copy of the autopsy pages. New task, send the victim to the for processing. It looks at the dead man one more time, then a slip of red paper in his hand, and at the corpse again. He's thinking, did I miss something? I'm sure we didn't get everything, there's always something. Let's bug him, take him away. Okay, I need a little help for carrying him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can take care of the rest. There's those beautiful enamel boots made the rest in processing. Then what? It's too late to take him into processing today. I'll take him first thing tomorrow. Put the black plastic over the Desmond face. Pack the cars and rally to the motor carriage. Tanto non ho un posto dove dormire, quindi posso anche cercare di togliere gli stivali a sto tipo mentre dorme, che zuragi.